All right, welcome to the October 15th ACA-PUG Users Group meeting, ACA-PUG meeting. The first one to be held at the OWF. We're still getting sorted out on how to arrange things and make sure everything's in process, but we'll see how this goes. We'll update everyone on the progress on the move. Release 1011, our release candidate 0. And talk about next release. Also want to get ready on a webinar about ACA-PI and what we're going to cover in it. maybe I'll use IAW as a way to practice. Anyway, call is being recorded, so I'll post this as soon as I find out where things get posted at OWF, where the links are to recordings. In the meantime, the Linux Foundation Europe anti-competition policy is in effect in this small print here. I tried to make this larger, but couldn't figure out how. So I'll figure that out in a bit. As well, there is a Open Wallet Foundation Code of Conduct that is linked. The link is shown. Please add your name to the attendees list, which is here. I posted in the agenda the link to this page.
So that Stephen, just a couple things. If you're not in update mode and you click on that image, it opens it up big.
Oh, I see.
You're in edit mode, so it's
yeah, okay. But
if you're not in edit mode, you can open up big. Yeah.
Okay, good. In the old one, you could change the size of these. But these, anyway. Cool. Any welcome introductions or announcements people want to do? If people want to grab the mic and say anything at this point or add things to the agenda, please do. Okay. We'll jump in anytime. So far, we've on the progress, I believe we're almost there with the main repo and the plugins repo. List of things. PyPy is the only thing, and Jamie, you think that's handled with another release, maybe?
Yeah, I should have just changed it to begin with, but the workflow is doing like a legacy way of publishing, so it's updated now, and Roy configured it, so I'm pretty sure it will work. Right, sorry.
Roy, it's
yeah,
Rye.
right. Yes, right.
Okay. New release candidate needed to test that out. On the plugins repo, I noticed that we're running on the protection for only running on the OWF. Needs to be done. I keep seeing runs on my branch or on my fork. So I assume that needs to be done.
I think it's always been that way. So yeah. On the plugins repo, it does run the workflows.
Okay.
If you fork it. Yeah, it's always been that way, but yeah,
okay.
I should change that too, but
yeah. But the rest of the plugin stuff is working, and are you able to, I guess you don't really have to publish anything, right?
No, we don't publish anything still. Maybe we should in the future, but yeah, there's a in progress PR, so once there's actually a release of ACA-PI with the new package name, then I'll get that ready and merge it, and then we'll be good.
Got it. Okay. And then we've got the rest of the repos, the Aries controller and Aries tools, and those become ACA-PI controllers and ACA-PI tools. And then we should be over. Obviously, we're seeing that the we moved over the meetings. The maintainers meeting is still to be worked a little bit. And I think just about everything else is done, so that's good. If anyone sees anything, please raise issues and let us know if you see anything. 1.1 RC0 has been released. So obviously we need 1.1 or 110 RC1 will be today. And it will have very little in it. I think maybe an actions PR. But all we need it for is to trigger the PyPy thing again. So that's good. Yeah, and then as soon as that all works, we'll do a 1.1.0 final. So again, that could be as soon as today or tomorrow. So that would be good. I don't know if there's a whole lot in PRs that we want to go over. Let me open the link in a new tab. I wondered about this one, Jamie. What are you thinking about this? Probably hold off until after RC1, but did it run happily? Yeah, it looks like it ran happily. So we've got a few, looks like, this one, this would be a runtime one, right? The JSON path ng.
So yeah, I don't know about that one, but in
Okay.
theory we can merge all those if we want.
Yeah, okay. 313 doesn't do, does anyone know anything about 313 versus 12? Anything exciting we should know about or likely to cause us grief?
Didn't even know it
Yeah,
was
there
out.
is some really good performance improvements in it. But
Okay.
I think we should just close those for now and then decide later. But
Yeah, well, I
it's
thought
not
we'd
like
leave them open, but just not merge them till after 1.1. Is that all right?
yeah,
Okay.
I have to go over all the changes in it but yeah, in theory we should be able to upgrade. But
Okay.
yeah, then that causes all this stuff with the plugins and stuff too. So like I think we should upgrade to 313 later as like a separate
Oh, okay. Okay.
thing.
Yeah. Then feel free to close whichever ones you think. Sounds good. I changed this one into draft. It's ready to go, but I put it into draft just to prevent anyone from merging it too quickly. Again, we want to get 1.1 out with essentially no changes so that anyone upgrading to use the OWF repository and library, the new ACA-PUG agent library and things like that, they won't have to worry about did other things change at the same time. So no merging of anything until we get that final 1.1 release out. Issues. I would like someone, if someone, Jamie or Wade, someone could take a look at this one. Somebody just having a problem getting started. And I couldn't figure out what it was, but I suspect, obviously it's likely to be something in the configuration. But it'd be nice to be able to help this person out. Any other ones that have come in? I guess, Emiliano, you're looking at this one.
I don't think he's here.
Oh,
But
I thought I saw him join.
See him here.
Oh yeah,
He
yeah.
joined as a guest, so he is here. But anyway, so I think Emiliano was looking at this one. It was based on the,
Sorry, I was
believe
not paying attention because I had the microwave going and was covering the noise.
Okay. You've got this one for now and take a look at it when you can.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know about this one. I looked at it briefly and went through it, but I'm not sure. I'll take a look and see maybe. It looks like just hammering on the revocation registry and looking at update. I've seen this name before, so I think this is someone that's fairly knows the community well and knows the library, so a little concerned about that one. And then Daniel is off this week, but has been looking at this endorser logic and trying to come up with some adjustments to it. We'll keep 3250. I should have updated it on Friday and missed that, so I'll make sure I update it today so we're up to date and everyone knows. So in case anyone is not clear on that, looking at 3250, this description here we're keeping, I've been updating on a regular basis to say here's how we're transitioning and where we are, what's completed. We did this one, so that's now updated. In theory, we've got these done and we're just making sure that those complete, and then we have produced the release candidates and we're just about finished these. So as far as the steps go, we're very close. So now we'll be updating. Here's the practical things we've learned in switching over. So what have you got to change in your implementation? And I'm certainly hoping from a BC Gov perspective that we do one fairly soon, to use this as a source and sort of know what had to change in order to do this. So we'll see about that on our team. And feedback from everyone would be helpful. Sound good?
Yeah, Stephen, there's another thing that I noticed that I'm not sure where it fits in. It could be just another item on this one, is the ACA-PUG GitHub repo description still has a Hyperledger link.
Ah, okay. The description's not a file. Oh, that's a good one.
No, it's not. That's why I'm trying to figure out where it fits. Yeah.
Yeah, right there. I think I can change it right here, but I won't do it on the fly, but
Sure.
yeah, that's funny.
Do you want me to
Thank
make an
you
issue
for catching
that?
that.
Or
What's
would you
that?
like an issue?
Actually, isn't it just in .github? If you click on .github, the directory, there should be a file there with the GitHub stuff.
Might be. But we'll do it on the fly.
Sure.
Wow, there's some older ones there. We got to get that going. But anyway, there we go. Yeah, I don't know if that's great, but anyway, now we've got ACA-PUG.org linked in. Good. So that's good. Okay, now I lost my page though. Okay, there we go. All right, good stuff. So that's where we are with PRs and issues. The last thing, I don't have a lot for this meeting, so this isn't going to take long, and this was just brainstorming. I'd love to get help from the community on, as I say, putting together a webinar. I think what I would provide is sort of an introduction, then use the traction demo for going through an entire sequence, and just use that traction demo as a way to look at it. And then I was thinking an architectural overview and features tour, so blocks and lines and concepts drawing. The worst part of ACA-PUG, which is the configuration and getting all of the many options understood, and examples of some of those. Go over a bit the secure storage that's done, and then a tour of the open API and the pieces to do with that. So this would be sort of the meat and the meat of the technical, and then hoping to go in and spend a bit of time on stuff that certainly Indicio is working on with the OpenID for VCs and SD JOTs, and a piece there, and then working with VC API and publishing credentials, the work that's happening there, and how ACA-PUG can be used quickly and easily in other places. And then finally go over a roadmap. So that's sort of a quick shot of an overview. Do people see additional topics or additional comments on this as a possibility? Anyone want to take any of these?
Maybe something about DIDs. Not sure where it would fit, but I feel like it deserves a bit of a, bit of a space in there. Maybe in flexibility.
Yeah. Yeah, what DIDs are supported out of the box, what it is the way DIDCOM. I don't know if that's probably up here as well. You'll do that up there as more of a core feature. Certainly it gets covered here in the traction piece. The architectural overview, though, it covers it.
Is that a OWF webinar that we're aiming for here?
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's time, given we didn't do a whole lot of talking about 1.0 when it came out, because the OWF move was in preparation. What I'd like to get out is an OWF/1.0 presentation, publicity about it. Sean.
And Stephen, it's a fantastic idea and we appreciate it. And hopefully this will be a catalyst for other projects to do similar webinars. This does not need to be a 3 or 4 hour workshop. We've been experimenting with format. I'm going to talk to some folks next week during maintainer days about this as well. The 3 or 4 hour workshop is great. It goes in deep, but it's half a day.
Yeah.
And a 1 hour webinar / meetup is equally valuable because it can be the training wheels, the catalyst to get somebody started. So this is a great idea. Thank you. If anyone can volunteer to help on this, because doing a 3 hour workshop by yourself is awful, but also doing a 1 hour webinar is super hard. So if folks could help out, that'd be tremendous. And I'll add some stuff for the upcoming meeting topics at the end of the call.
Okay. Yeah, this is the plan to do this on as a 1 hour, sorry. So like this demo of traction and schema, I'd have this as a well-oiled machine to just show, here's what happens. You can go from 0 to 100 in maybe 10 minutes. So yeah, that would be the plan. Kyle?
Yeah, I can put my hand up for that, but maybe for a topic that you don't have, which is sort of the business application. The usage. And from a sort of a marketing and communications perspective, we can get some non-technical people in the room.
Yeah, that's an excellent idea.
Once we've got a date, I can start the promotion plan and start getting the word out. We've got a couple of channels that we've been using, but we can expand that, and I'll see if there's any PR support I can get from the Linux Foundation.
Is an hour and a half crazy?
By yourself, I would say that's hard. If you can get some help, an hour and a half is awesome. It's that.
Yeah, no, I meant more from the audience perspective. Would we lose people if we went from an hour to an hour and a half?
I don't think so, but also we record it, and I have
Yeah.
seen that lift the next day from people who did have to split and then went and finished. So it's and those are for the 3 and 4 hour ones. They're really beefy. There's a lot to it, and I don't think an hour and a half is too much.
Okay.
And thank
So
you.
I think that is a lot of content for an hour, but an hour and a half would be pretty reasonable, I think.
If there's, depending on how you want to run it, if you're going to have natural breaks for Q&A, or if you're going to stop as you're presenting a section to let folks ask questions, it's all up to you and how you and the folks presenting want to do it. But at least so
Okay.
there's some time for people to raise their hand either at the end or at the end of a section, that'd be great.
Yep. Okay. Excellent. Okay, well, that's all the topics I had. Do people have other topics they want to go over? Patrick.
Well, there was one PR. Well, I guess maybe we wait till Daniel is there. Was the whole verification method, negotiation, more robust verification method selection.
Yeah.
But maybe we wait till the
Yeah.
next time.
Yeah. We will, for those not aware, we do have a maintainers meeting, alternate weeks to this. So next week, Daniel will be back. We'll probably hit this one and the others. I'm hoping by that time, we've got the release 1.1 out so that we can open the floodgates again and get everything else going. And this one is a pretty big one. Sean.
Yeah, so a couple of things. Welcome to the Open Wallet Foundation, everybody. Thank you so much for this meeting and for moving the project over here and being part of this. I also work on Hyperledger, so it's not like y'all have never seen me before, but it's get to see you at our new place. Couple of things. We've got this meeting set up. We've got the wiki set up for this meeting. I am setting up wiki pages for the other projects that have moved over. And I'm also setting up Zoom rooms for the other projects. We do have a mailing list. I'm going to get that properly promoted. You'll see down there under collaboration, under ACA-PUG, we've got a mailing list, we've got a Discord, we've got meetings for maintainers and ACA-PUG users group, ACA-PUG. I have to get the ACA-PUG, the very cute picture of the ACA-PUG in here.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, we need a photo, Sean.
I got to paste that little dude. He was my bottom of my priority list. I had to get the meeting up first. We're going to work on that. Upcoming, next week we have maintainer days. There are going to be folks in this community who are there talking about what's going on both at Hyperledger and decentralized identity. Then we've got Internet Identity Workshop the following week. The last thing I am working on is I'm having a conversation with GitHub about GitHub code spaces. We are, in my mind, a little late with budget season. Like I wanted to be done in September, and then we had a big EUDI wallet event in Brussels with the European Commission and large-scale pilot folks, which was fantastic. I wouldn't trade it for the world, but it set back my priority for budgeting. The reason I'm talking to GitHub is about code spaces. Code spaces, we have run into workshops, big ones, 4-hour ones before, where we've lost an hour because people haven't, it's people who are either not experienced or they don't have all the packages pre-installed or they didn't do the prep work to get ready for the workshop. We lose an hour with that. And that's both live in-person workshops and also virtual ones on Zoom. The nice thing about code spaces is an entire environment can be built up like a virtual machine. Everything you need, it can be tested, and then we can give folks a URL that they can then hit, and then they've got a development environment with everything ready to go. That has a cost. I'm talking to GitHub about that cost and trying to work it into the OWF budget. My dream sequence would be every project, every growth and impact project in OWF has a code space ready to go. So if anyone wants to kick the tires on a project, they can. My goal. That has a cost, and I'm going to try to see what I can do between the Linux Foundation IT and GitHub and our relationship with them to see what's that going to cost me. Maybe in year one, we only do it for events or workshops. Yeah, Patrick, spot on. And I think if you ask the Credo folks, we did a live workshop with them in Dublin 2 years ago, and they literally, in a 4-hour workshop, they lost an hour and a half because there's always someone raising their hand going, hey, I've got a 6-year-old Windows PC. How can I work with this? And you feel bad and you want to get them involved, but then so we're trying to find ways to streamline that and reduce the level of friction required to get people hands-on. So I'm hoping to get that. It's going to be at least in the next 2 weeks. I have to have that conversation with them along with everything else going on. And also, we have a number of SIGs. I'm going to put some notes in the Discord, just to let folks know where things are. There's also the ID SIG, which is part of Hyperledger. Shar is on the call. She is awesome. She and her two co-chairs for the ID SIG. They'd spend the first 15, 20 minutes doing a wrap up of everything around the decentralized identity space. So projects at Hyperledger, projects at OWF, projects at Diff, projects at W3C. Just really an awesome, like real quick high level overview. And then they dive into one topic and one presenter for the rest of the call. And they're not always someone we work with. Bringing in people from the outside is incredibly valuable. That diversity of thought, diversity of viewpoints, seeing what other people are working on that they're not working on the stuff we are is great. So I cannot give Shar a big enough shout out, but I'm going to get together some of these lists and work them into our calendars so you all know where things are and where they're going. I'm also working on and this was a request from Stephen, just basically a description of how to navigate some of these things, how to get your LFID, how to find out how to find these meetings in LFX as a user of LFX, how to get on Discord, etc. So I'm going to get all that together. Colton just posted, even if we give people instructions to prepare, there's always someone, Colton, always. And I can't even blame him because I've been that guy in the past. But at the same time, if code spaces can help with that and I can get the price low enough, we're going to try to implement it for all growth and impact projects. It's a great point. And Patrick, great point too. So thanks, Stephen. Just expect to see stuff from us. And we have a mailing list now for Occupy at OWF. It's public, it's built. No one sent any messages. No one's done a hello world yet. I'll let Steve or Sam or Daniel or somebody do the first hello world, but then I'll start sending out some messages about that. Relevant messages in the channel. Thanks, Steve.
Okay. I think this team would be good for Code Spaces as a starter project because the people on this are really good at stuff like that. So yeah, if you need a guinea pig on that, it probably wouldn't be bad.
I would love to make the guinea pig. And originally this came about because of the problems that the Credo, back when it was Aries Framework JavaScript, the problems the Credo team had running an effective workshop. But more importantly, I want more people touching this code, particularly those who are not here every 2 weeks. So any chance we get, we can help out. Is there a press release or announcement page on the move to OWF? There is a press release. I'm working through it with Helen, who was the chair of the Aries marketing working group, and I'm talking to her about possibly bringing that over to OWF. We are putting out I'm writing the blog post now, a welcome to the Aries project, specifically Occupy, DidCom Mediator, ASCAR, and OWL test harness. We want to get that word out. Our promotion muscles are not great, and I'm working on those right now. But that's a great question, Kyle. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Logo. How do we make progress on that? We realized that we don't have a logo for this page and went, oh, that's sad.
I
mean, this page could, page, I could just take the, whoa, what was that? The PUG. Yeah. And maybe we just make the PUG the release. I do know, who created that, so we don't have any, usage issues on that. Since Occupy doesn't mean anything.
Well, I mean, look, if you're our first impact project, if Occupy wants a logo, I can go to LF marketing and get someone jamming on that. If you want to use ACA-PUG, I think it's the cutest thing I've ever seen. I'm also not worried about, my legal team's heads exploding like the owl from Owl Test Harness because they're going to lose it. But you know what? It's not copyrightable, so hey, that's fine. But I'm waiting to get feedback on the owl. I like the owl a lot. So if this community and I'm going to reach out to ASCAR and DidCom Mediator and we already have one for owl. If they want logos, I can talk to the marketing team about that and get that moving.
I think Occupy is the big one that needs one. That would be my preference.
At a minimum, our first impact project should have a logo. Like if the labs don't have a logo, it's no big deal.
Yeah. Okay. A reminder, tomorrow's Aries working group meeting is in the normal spot. We won't move to the wallet interop special interest group until after IIW.
And I should have all that ready to go. Can I ask for the folks here? I am considering going into the Hyperledger calendar and updating this meeting, the Occupy maintainers call, the working group call at Hyperledger to the new Zoom link. This way, it's just a bridge between the old and the new. Is everyone okay if I do that? I'm still going to go to the old room just to make sure any stragglers or somebody's got an old calendar object doesn't get lost. How do you list your name as an attendee? Steve,
There, I just posted. There's the link to the page, and just edit that. Same as we did in the old.
Yeah, Steve, I had to log in with my LF
Oh, right.
login.
yeah,
To
if you're
edit.
having an issue, send me a note on espohan@linuxfoundation.org. And just so folks know, this is not your fault or your problem. LFIT decided to move off of one instance of Confluence Wiki to a new hosted cloud instance of Confluence Wiki, and it's caused some problems for other folks, other projects. It's little issues here, like something like a bunch of plugins that we used to use in the old one don't work anymore, and we got to work around that. But this is growing pains. We're going to get this settled as quick as we can. But if you can't access this, you can't add to it, you've got my email address, or ping me on Discord, and I'll make sure you're in there.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what to do about a logo, but we should come up with something. So Helen posted something a while ago, and I keep forgetting to go look at it. Is that still the basis of the press release you're planning, Sean, or is there a later one that we can look at?
There's a later one which I have to review, and I got to run it by Emily because it does reference Hyperledger. Just so folks know, if we reference the word Hyperledger, I have an entire list of people I got to run it by. Once I get that done, no, it's how stuff gets done. I'm sorry, I have to apologize. At the same time, I got to follow along. The minute I get that ready, I'll get it over to everyone here so you can see it. It's really just I think it should be a thank you note to the Occupy, ASCAR, DIDCOM Mediator, and Test Harness community. Thank you for being awesome contributors to Hyperledger, and welcome to your new home. We also want to make it, let folks know why this is moving. So I'm going to get quotes from some people like Tracy Kerr. Why is this important to the Open Wallet Foundation? Well, she's the chair of our TAC. We want her to weigh in on that, and I'll get some from others.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Any other topics people want to raise?
I have one here.
Yeah.
About Anon credits. I see the code. Well, at least some time ago I saw it, and I saw that there are still some issues, like some parts of the code that are hard coded to use the ledger object instead of the Anon credits registry, and there are some places that are hard coded to the did solve kind of did. So is there any progress around that, or which status is that?
I don't know offhand, but this is one we definitely want to we have to hit. This is, I think that's where that PR that we referenced, more robust verification method selection by DID. I think that is going there. But I agree, we've got to make sure we don't have any hard-coded values, that we've got the flexibility, and that we've well defined how you add a new DID to the world. That said, I don't have an answer for you off the top.
Yeah, one thing that was most troubling for me later these days was the ledger object, because I was working on using the Anon credit registry to search for Anon credits and deeds on a Bazel ledger, And well, I had success writing in the ledger the schemas and the credential definitions, and even the revocation registry. But there are some places that I could not get rid of the ledger object. So that gave me a little headache.
The anon-creds endpoints only support legacy ND DIDs right now. Like we wanted to do a bunch of work there, but like that's why it's referencing the ledgers, because it only supports soft
No,
DIDs.
I didn't mean that endpoints. I mean some endpoints like issue credential 2.0, for example.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, you go to the issuing process, and somewhere in the code you got that ledger resolved transaction, something like that. I don't remember exactly, but there are some codes that are still using this ledger object instead of the Anon creds registry.
Yeah, it's supposed to use the registry everywhere, but because we haven't implemented like a did web or anything through it, we haven't fixed those places yet. But yeah, there's a lot of work to do there still.
Well, but it is still in work, actually.
Yeah.
Then, right. Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah, when we have this did web server and stuff, we should do the did web work in anon creds as well, and get rid of any of those places that are like that. But
that's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Patrick?
Just regarding that, so when it uses the indie or sov method, obviously it's based on the server that you registered to when you start up your agent. When we're gonna do with did web, like I don't think we want to pre-register a did web server. I think we want to use it based on the did of the resource, and it could be any web servers.
Yeah.
Is that going to be difficult to, like, is that process in itself that it doesn't have to be a pre-registered ledger or web server going to necessitate a lot of change in the sort of the logical bit of the code?
no, it shouldn't, because it just has the did and then it sends it into the registry and then handles it. So
Okay. Yeah, so it just resolves
that's
the did,
like
get the object back.
that's set up to like work, but yeah, there's like
Sure.
there's a few places where it's not
Yeah, one
done
thing
right.
I just remembered about that also is the public did. The public did. What should we do with that? Because right now you can only assign a public did if it is a did soft one. So if I get a did indie or did ether, for example, I cannot assign it as a public did to my wallet.
Yeah, I assume that will just have to be changed. That's why we
Yeah, so it's all
public did
around
is more like,
this. I mean, this is the big topic.
the public did, it's fair to say it's just like the default did. Like that would be another way to say it. Like it's just the did that the agent is going to use when it makes transactions by default.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some issues like that did must be published to the ledger, something like that. But
like wonder, like if I want to use a did web, for example,
Yeah.
would I need like then a public did web to use as well, or how that's going to work? Do I provide it when I create a resource? Like, are we going to want a public did for each did method? That sounds like it would be pretty complicated to manage.
Well, I
Yeah.
think it's the same as this, which is you pick what you want your public did to be. I'm okay with it being a public did, but it can't be tied to a specific ledger or something, or ledger type.
Yeah, well, I think that dynamically based on the did being used, that
Yeah.
would remove the need to have like a default did. Like, I guess you could still have one, but have a way that I can say like, I want to, like this add-on cred, I want to create it with this did.
True. Yeah. What does, I guess that comes back to, what does public did mean? Is there one, and what does it mean? Like, how is it different from any other did?
Well, I could have one agent with two dids. They're both published on the ledger. And if I choose to promote one as the public did, as far as I know, the only thing it changes is that's the did it's going to use when I create connections, with invitations,
Yeah.
so it's more
Yeah,
like the
that's what I mean.
default.
Yeah. What does it mean to be the public one versus any other one?
Yeah. Well, there is the out of band connection that you set up to use the public did, so it chooses this did to make the connection. But well, right now we are using did peer 2 and peer 4, and so, well, why would I use the public key anyway?
Yeah. Okay, heavy topics. Okay, that'll be what we're going to talk next time. Hopefully we've got all the OWF stuff out of the way and the transition, and we can get into that. Because that is, to me, the biggest thing we've got to do is the next step. Because it opens the way for the flexibility and the roadmap. Okay, any other topics to raise today? Excellent. All right, well, thanks for attending. I'm glad things more or less worked. Good job, Sean. Thank you for all your help in getting this ready. And we'll see you on Discord. We can't start to shift over to OWF, but I'm sure everyone's still watching the Hyperledger Discord. But we do have an ACA-PUG channel. I'll talk to Sean about what else we can add there. I was thinking we ought to have a maintainers channel as well for, sort of higher level, more assumptions in the conversations versus ones where everyone would expect to understand.
Not a problem. I'm going to reach out to the marketing team at LF to get the briefing process together to get this started with the community.
Okay.
Working with LF Legal on the project charters, moving them over from Hyperledger. Whatever you all need,
Yeah.
whatever you all need in Discord, we'll do it. So you want to
Okay.
get the maintainer channel up right now.
Okay, great. All right, thanks all.
Thanks, everybody.